Bruh, crazy. It's like I come back, I'm going straight to it. I come back, I'm getting straight to it, gang. Welcome to Howard. We're inside our new building. It's kind of lit. I'm just gonna stand right here. I'm gonna join the teams. Cause we gotta go. Hair look a little nasty. Hello.
Hello. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hey, how you doing?
Okay, got you. I sorry. I think my computer was connected to my earphones or something way at my desk.
No, you're
But
fine.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Nice to finally meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you as well.
All right, thank you.
Happy Tuesday.
Yes, man. Again, thank you so much for responding and being open to speak on just your overall experience.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to share. It's been a great experience,
Mm-hmm.
so I'd love to share with whoever is interested and
Yeah.
answer any questions that you may have or spark any new questions or just anything.
So when you were on my first question, when um when you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but you were a participant or not only a participant, a winner of the Disney uh what's the term for it? Like the creative
It's a
competition?
the Imaginations design competition.
Yeah, yeah, yes, the Imagination
Hmm.
Designs competition. Yeah. So okay, so I'll I'll give you some backstory on me. So
Okay,
basically,
yeah.
I of course mechanical engineering. I'm trying to work, there full time. I know Disney's about like a who you know type of thing. So I actually did a college program for a year to kind of get
Okay.
involved, try to get my little hands in some pockets before actually coming into Howard, because I
Hmm.
transferred. I went to like my community college for a little bit, and when I was there, um, you know, and I made my connects at Howard. Um, I then just been trying to just build my portfolio, be a better engineer, and then in that process, I was like, let me start getting back into some Disney things, and then I was recommended about that specific project, or I'm sorry, that specific competition, and I was like, I never even heard of it. And then Brandon actually came to Howard, I think, once as like some like the recruitment or some people to, I guess, advertise it. And so then one of the people that I spoke with, he told me that one of the results of being a winner is that you get a like an offer for an internship. Is that correct?
So it depends on so kind of how it works is you compete in the competition, and even if you're not a finalist, which me and my team, we were finalists and we placed third in the competition.
Right,
But
right.
even if
Shout
you're
out to
not a
y'all. Shout out
finalist,
to y'all, by the
yes,
way.
thank you.
Big HBCUs,
But
you know what I'm saying?
exactly, yeah, we were there to represent because actually the year before us of Morgan participants, they won the competition. They got
Mm,
first place. So it was really kind of, it was a lot of pressure, to show up and show out. And then we were the only two-person team. All of the other teams were four-people teams, and so
wow.
people recognize that that is a lot of work, and we made it really far, which was really good. But even if you're not a finalist or if you don't win the competition, there's still opportunities for jobs. There's a lot of semi-finalists who get offered positions and internships. And while we were there, we just had a more of an opportunity. We were there for a whole week, and so they had events of. And when I say there, we were at the Glendale Imagineering campus in Glendale, and so they gave us the opportunity to tour and meet a lot of Imagineers, as well as we had a round of interviews. So after the presentation, the people in the room kind of decided and looked at us and our portfolios and our resumes, and they picked who they wanted to interview. And so we all kind of got interviews based off of that. So it's kind of like getting your foot in immediately to an interview, not saying that you'll be offered anything,
Right, of course.
but um, most of, I think, if not everybody that year did get offered an interview or an internship position. And so that's sort of how that works. So yeah, you when you win the competition, you're a finalist. You do get interviewed.
Okay. And so, with that being said, when it was just you two, um, as part of your team, like, what was that workload like? Like, did you split it between like architect and engineer, or did you like how was that split?
So my team were both architecture majors.
Okay.
We started off with four of us, but the other two dropped out because the workload was intense. It was a lot of work, especially with it just being two of us, but also balancing, our current coursework. It was a lot of work to, create this space and not really have that much guidance because it's not your coursework. So
Right.
it's time outside of what you're doing. And so it was a lot of work. I wasn't sleeping. um, I was very stressed, and um, yeah, it was a lot of work and a lot of pressure, and I knew a lot was riding on it as well. So
Right,
it
right, right.
was it was tough. But yes, we were both architecture majors, but in that, architecture majors, we come with a lot of different skills, and people who are stronger at one thing than the other. So my partner was really good at drawing and sketching, and so he sort of took on that, while I took on more of the leadership role, and managing, as well as visual communication and photoshopping, and kind of curating our story and how we wanted to present, because I really like presenting. And so
Okay.
I sort of took on that role, but I was also the leader, and so really just kind of making sure everything was going correctly, but doing most of the visual side of things, and the presentation side of things.
Wow. Okay. So, with that being said, if you could go back in time and tell your, you know, I guess like younger self in a way, um,
Hmm.
what to do with the knowledge you now have now to get even further into the competition, like first place, like what are some things that you would have critiqued, or you think like this would be the non-negotiables that you needed to have to get this going?
So I don't think that there's anything I would have changed to get necessarily first place. I think that um, the placement, it's there for the title, but it's not really there as if first place got $1,000 and third place got like 25. It's kind of like we all
Like
got the same
exposure.
thing. And it was exactly, and it was really just kind of getting your foot in the door. And then it was just the two of us. So the fact that we even placed was a really big thing, opposed to the other team, or the team who did get first place, where there was four of them, so they had a lot more manpower. And I think we should have gotten first place, but I'm not salty about it. I
Right,
think that
right.
our work was really well, and we did a really good job at making an environment that allowed you to feel like you were in the space, and it was very immersive. And so I'm not sure if there's anything I would have done differently
Mm-hmm.
for that. I think there was two separate submissions, and so for the first submission, I would have probably just read through the story again, because I read through it after we submitted, and I realized there was some errors, and
Mm-hmm.
so I was really nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, there's errors. I don't know if they're gonna let us through, but I mean, we still got through with the errors and not. So, I
Right.
mean, it worked out. But I probably would have just read that through, and I can't even say better manage my time because I wasn't sleeping. So it's kind of like, there was things to sacrifice. If I was able to change something, I don't know, maybe look at more precedents earlier on. I started to
Okay.
look at precedents a little late in like trying to figure out how we wanted to figure things out, but I think everything worked out the way it needed to. So,
Okay. Thank you. I was just trying to, I guess, like write down a couple notes as well, because like I said, too. Number one, I feel like this is like a really interesting like entrance point into the company, like to be able to say like I
mhm.
presented like a project of my own, and that's kind of what sparked like the interest of my involvement here. Um, and then also to kind of represent the diversity or just like be a person of color in these spaces. I think that also just kind of definitely stands out to me. So that's why like I'm trying to I guess like take it all in, and that's why um, when I found you, I was like, okay, you know, this is definitely something I wanted to like truly learn from, because yeah, I I I'm trying to put in some words, but essentially, like my goal is when I graduate, um, I would have loved to just have an opportunity to be able to work in like Imaginary full time, and
Okay.
yeah, so really, any way I can kind of get my foot in the door with that, that's kind of that's kind of the goal. So the the competition itself is kind of like new to me, but I think it's like a very perfect, beautiful story just to kind of literally expose myself to like, hey, here I am, here's what I've been working on, and I hope you take an interest.
Mhm.
So, you know, kudos to you. You know what I'm saying? Trying to follow your footsteps for real.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. But I do. Let me ask you,
Mm.
how much do you have? One more year of school, or where you at with school?
So, I technically have about like 3 more semesters in total. I'm trying to
Three
shave
more
it down.
semesters.
I'm trying to shave it down as
Mm-hmm.
quick as I can with some summer courses or something. But yeah, I got like about three. So
Okay.
it's just
And so you
because
said you did. Oh, I'm sorry.
I know I was just gonna tell you it's because like at Howard like not all the we kind of like run out of teachers sometimes in engineering, so like
Mm-hmm.
not all of the spring classes are offered in the fall and vice versa. So I kind of made some adjustments with my scheme with the thought that I could take it now, but then it's like you can't. So it's kind of messed with some other stuff, you know.
Yeah, no, I get you. I actually have one more year of school as well. So I'll be going back this fall and, squeezing in my classes as much as I can into these last two semesters. So I definitely feel you with that. But what was I gonna ask? You did the college program as well. Were
I
you in
did.
Florida for that? Okay.
I was a Sassagoula riverboat captain. So like I was one of the rare people that had to like go to training for like an extra week. Like it was like 2 weeks of training, and they gave me like a boat license from the state of Florida,
Okay.
and I had to like it was a safety critical role, but then we also had to like be an operator, so we got paid a little
Hmm.
bit more. But my strategy for that is like I just wanted access to like Disney's rosters and stuff like that, so I'd be able to communicate what I could. And yeah, so I was there for a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, the roster has been my best friend. I've been stalking so many people on there, and
Yeah.
it's been working for me. I have my own address book now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm all over roster. What was I gonna say? Oh, did you live at Flamingo?
I did. We were so
Okay.
I did this the summer of 2022. So it was May 2022 actually. And
Okay.
so Flamingo at the time I think was only like a year and a half old or something like that. Like
Mhm.
it was fresh enough to where like you literally saw buildings still open up, like basically. So yeah, and it was really nice. I can't
Gotcha.
lie. It was oddly like it was like a it was like you kind of like when you stepped outside your room, I feel like you were in a resort. But when you walk back
Mhm.
in your room, it's like okay, like I now know there's some like like regular civilians be living up in here because not everybody has the the same standard of cleanliness. You know what I'm saying? So, but the amenities were
Yeah.
nice, especially coming from like Howard. You know, make sure nobody hear me. Sometimes, sometimes the rooms don't be up kept. A lot of stuff be renovated in the '80s, and they just put some new paint on it. So going going to
Yeah.
going to Flamingo was really cool. Mm.
Yeah, no, the gym at Flamingo is definitely my favorite. It's
Yes. Oh,
literally
so you're at
huge,
Flamingo
and so
now?
it's awesome. Yeah, I am at Flamingo now.
Yeah, I was in Dock 15. Dock 15.
Doc, okay, I'm in
Yeah.
Archimedes.
Oh, okay. Isn't that in wait, either that's like near the gate or that's in the west? Cuz I was in the east.
It's near the gate. Yeah,
Okay.
it's in East. It's in East, but it's building number one, so it's like
Oh,
far
see.
from Doc.
See, I know
Yeah,
ball, I know ball. See, I get it.
exactly. No, every time I ask somebody where they are at, I'm like, "What character are you?" And they're like, "What?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I know the characters because I just thought it was cute the way they're all like A B C D E, and
Mhm.
then it just made it easy to remember. But it was fun. But was your college program you trying to get closer to Imagineering, or were you already interested in, or was that your introduction into Imagineering?
No, so yeah. So basically, I actually took some time. Like when I graduated high school, I took like a year off, and then from that year, I wanted to figure out more like what I wanted to do, and that's whenever like
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to study medicine for a while, and I realized like I took an AP bio class my senior year. I was like, I don't really think this is for me, and I think it's kind of yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, in that year, I worked full time and stuff, and I found that like knowing things about work is still very interesting to me. So engineering was a blueprint. And I went to my community college because of I spent a year working, and it was like this way I could work in that job that I was moving up pretty fast in, and also still go to school just get my basics out of the way. And
Mm-hmm.
then through there, that's whenever I applied to the program actually before going to Howard, and then I applied to the program from my community college, and then but my whole goal for that was yeah just for me to get like um in even more understanding of like engineering or imagining. So like I already was familiar with it, but I didn't like I'm from Mississippi, so I'm from like we don't really there was I felt like there was no way I could kind of network my way with people like there weren't gonna be too many people like that where I'm from. So I was like, okay, let me
Mm-hmm.
go over there, try to network, get some context, things like that, to potentially move forward. And I applied to like some of the professional internships and things of that nature, but
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of them they're a little bit particular, and also I would say at the time when I was applying, like when I left Flamingo, um, I didn't have too many like engineering like I had an interest, but I wasn't like academically the best applicant because I haven't like finished taking like the courses and or having
Mm-hmm.
experience and stuff like that. So, but I feel like at that time they're a little more there's like more like availability or more space, and now I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit more of a stricter program when it comes to those internships and stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
that's why I'm still in pursuit, and it's kind of how we got here. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it is very competitive, I've realized. And so even just getting your foot in the door, like you said, you did the college program. I work with a lot of professional interns who did the college program, and then that was sort of their foot in the door for, staying on people's radar and networking with people and getting more familiar with, I guess, the areas that they want to be in and
Hmm.
the certain positions that you want to be in. And I know you said you used Roster. Were you able to use that to connect with any people who did civil engineering and now they're in a role here?
I have like so I was able to connect with a couple like people that were just in like imagineering as a whole, and maybe like project management or maybe like
Mm-hmm.
but like not specific to like show or anything like that. Because at the time, I don't think I was like very specific on what I wanted to do in those regards. But
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll also use my rosters. This might feel weird, but I made like a big Excel sheet where like if I met you in person, I would like go on rosters, find your picture, throw the picture in there, and then I would like add your email
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So it was really a catalog of people I actually met in real life versus like
Mhm.
me just kind of like stalking her a little bit. I kind of do that a little bit now via LinkedIn,
Mhm.
I guess. Hit this, but you
Mhm.
know, I didn't do it that way. So there is still like people I'm communicating with. Like my main one, there's somebody from Managerial recommended him to me, but it was somebody that was directly with. He was one of the senior. Uh, what's the word? Recruiters for Imaginary. But there's been a lot of like furloughs and kind of layoffs on people. So some of the
Mhm.
connects I did have there, unfortunately, no longer work there. So that's also been a thing too. So yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I feel that. And I think it's definitely still good to connect with them and reach out because I think just with company with Disney, the Disney company as a whole, there's a lot of ups and downs. It is project based and when we have our big projects, of course there's a lot of people, but as soon as those projects are done, they're like, "Okay, we don't need as many people because there's not as many projects." So,
Mm,
I definitely think it is still good to reach out and connect with as many people as you can. Even like you said, you're not exactly sure what you wanted to do. I'm that same way. My background is in architecture, and I meet with a lot of people who either have a similar background in architecture or just maybe a completely different background. I meet with all kinds of people. One, really just to get comfortable networking. I wasn't very comfortable with speaking with people and setting up one-on-ones a few months ago. I was just really nervous to do it,
uh,
but I just started setting up more and more one-on-ones and getting connected with more people, and it's really taught me a lot
wow.
about just meeting with all these different types of people and hearing. What really was helpful was hearing about their different backgrounds and the different ways that they got into Imagineering and there's so many paths that kind of bring you to the company. And once you're in the company, most people don't stay in one spot. they
Mm-hmm.
they they're around from area to area, and so it's really interesting to hear and honestly refreshing to and reassuring to be like, oh, like, okay, you didn't know what you wanted to do when you were 20, and that's good. That's okay because they figured it out. And I keep hearing like you don't have to have it all figured out right now. And as much as I want to, I'm like okay, but I want to have it all figured out just because I feel like it's better. Like you
Right,
just
right,
you have
right.
more confidence in where you're going. But I mean, it's kind of just learning to love the
The
journey,
process,
I
yeah.
guess, in the process. Yeah, but it definitely has been a ride. But have you ever thought about competing in the Imaginations competition?
Yes, exactly. That's kind of yeah. That's what prompted my like search in like interest to want to speak up to you. Also, by the way, you say that you were like nervous on like one on ones. You would have fooled me, especially with like you loving presentations. Like I feel like you would have been a great networker. Like this is like easy peasy. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm very down to it. Like I said, I didn't even know it existed, and I wanted to honestly ask you. Um, I want to know more about it because, like I said, I'm kind of a fish out of water when it comes to that. And
Hmm.
I've done my research, but I feel like it's kind of vague. Like you don't really see a lot of things online about it. So yeah.
You really don't. And honestly, the way I kind of, like I said, I wish I looked at more precedents. That was the one thing I wish I changed was looking at more precedents of other people who did the competition. But a lot of times those things are like confidential, and so they don't show it. And I just kind of went and I either Googled Imaginations presentations. I did. I Googled them and I went on YouTube and I searched them all up and I found one. It's called like the Hourglass or something like that. And if you look on YouTube, you'll see kind of like their whole presentation of how they started with their model. Are you familiar with Rhino?
No, I'm not. Oh, but
Well,
this
it's
I
a
have seen that. If it's from like Iowa State.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes. And I believe they won their year. And so I looked at that, but that was like one of the only presentations that was there at the time. And it didn't give us a lot to go off of and sort of how we wanted to present. But luckily, my, my professor was an Imaginations alum as well. He competed and was a finalist in 2008.
yeah. Wow,
So I sort of
that's crazy.
yeah, it's sort of just kind of going in like rounds, and so it was
I should
really
switch to
good.
Morgan. What am I doing here? No, I'm kidding.
No, actually, they're coming to Howard on September 16th. They're coming to present. There's someone named Kennedy Carter. if you go to that presentation, meet with her and
Okay.
talk to her and tell her you spoke with me, and she's probably gonna be like, "Yes, Alana did the competition, blah blah blah." But
Thank you
they're
for
coming to Howard in September,
thank you for
so yeah, if you can go to that because they share their presentations, they share their journey and how they did the competition and they got an internship and then they've been with the company for years. And
wow.
so that presentation was honestly really moving for me. I was like, whoa, like this seems very possible. And especially they were all black. Like them seeing them up there talking about Disney, which wasn't something I was familiar with. I'm from Oklahoma, smack
Mm.
dab in the middle of no Disney park. I didn't grow up going to the parks. And so I'm not even that I didn't want to, but that was sort of out of my family's like price range.
Right, right,
Maybe we
right.
went
Which
to
makes
Six
sense.
Flags. Yeah, I'm like my biggest chance I would think was going to Disney was like maybe getting a sweepstakes on Disney Channel. I don't know. I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to be going to Disney,
Nah,
but
look.
luckily this opportunity has allowed me to go to Disney so many times.
Yeah, yeah. Can I
But
ask you? Can I? Oh, sorry. I don't want to.
yeah,
I don't want you to
no,
lose your
no,
train of thought.
ask.
Okay.
Mhm.
With that being said, how has it been being at the parks, full access, all summer? Like, how has that been?
It's been really. Did you not get access to your college program?
Oh no, I did, I did.
Oh, okay.
But like you were saying, how
Oh,
like you
for
never
me.
really thought that you were gonna be there. So
Yeah,
yeah, how's
no,
that
it's
feel?
been really cool. I think I wasn't appreciating it that much at first. I think before I was just kind of like,
It's all
yeah,
right.
this is cool, but now that I'm like, I only have a couple weeks left in my internship, I'm like trying to go every single day. Like I was at Hollywood Studios last night in Magic Kingdom, and I've been there every single day for the past week, just going and seeing the shows and conquering the rides. I was kind of a scaredy cat on the rides. And so I was telling myself like I would conquer like Rock and Roller Coaster and all of the things that I was scared of, except for Tower of Terror. I won't be doing that. But I won't be doing that. I've already wrote that off. But everything else,
Nah.
I've just told myself I would conquer, and so just trying to see all the shows, and it's been really amazing. Like it's been awesome.
Did you
So
ever have a
I've really enjoyed it.
Did you ever have a favorite Disney character growing up?
Not that I can like point out.
Oh, okay.
And so I just love them all. And there's some that I love more than others. Like I'm not like crazy about like Winnie the Pooh or like the dwarves or the princesses, except for like Tiana.
Right, right, right.
That's really kind of it. But yeah, I mean they're cool. I wasn't really like obsessed with one where I'm like going to a meet and greet with any of them.
Right.
But
No, but I get
when I
it.
see them, it's cool.
I get it.
Yeah.
That was the weird thing that I felt like with the program. That was like, it's just a little odd to me because a lot of people they were like, I'm talking about they see Mickey Mouse, they think it's their Lord and Savior, like tears in their eyes. I'm like,
Yeah.
I love the mouse, I recognize him. However, there's a man in
No, exactly.
there is a man in there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like,
What it? No, there's no man in there. What do you
right,
mean?
right, right, right. And so
But no, no, I completely get what you're saying. I would just kind of be like I wasn't. I
right.
was. Yeah, the characters weren't really like tear bringing to me.
But the atmosphere is really nice. Like I also said, like the overall experience, it kind of takes you like out of this. I'm gonna say like not outer body, but you know what I mean. Like it really puts you in a place where you kind of forget that
You have
you know, yeah,
responsibilities in
yeah,
life.
yeah, at all. It's just like
Yeah.
they really push you in the theme of a story. Like what is a story? And that's my end all be all actually. Like my end all goal is I want to take a lot of the elements of Disney and what they do right to really put into like my own black owned project. So that's like forever.
Hmm.
That's the concrete reason. So why I really want to why I look up to what Disney has done and why I want to be a part of it, so I can understand, so I can really do it on my own and do it from a black point of view. You know what I'm saying? Of an African American experience and stuff like that. So yeah.
And I do think that is very important. And I will be honest that you went to the parks, you lived in Florida, and so
Mm,
I'm sure whenever you were at the parks, you weren't seeing a whole bunch of us.
nah.
There's not very many of us at all, and I think that I wasn't really shocked coming to the parks and realizing that. I sort of expected that a little bit, but behind the scenes, it's not better. I'm one of two black women in my office,
Wow.
and so it is very. It's I don't want to say it's hard because it's not like anybody treats you bad, but it is kind of difficult not having any community and people who think the same way or have that lens. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think a lot of things like Tiana's Bayou Adventure being reimagined from Splash Mountain, and just sort of the neglect in giving us our own stories and
Mm-hmm.
kind of just painting over another one that was negative and changing that into our story instead of rewriting a new story for us, and just sort of things like that I think could be a lot like someone could put a lot more thought into that, and I'm not exactly sure where that starts, or who that starts with, what level that starts with. But I don't know. It is sort of, I think that lens isn't really big for Imagineering. I don't think it's meant to be exclusionary, but I do think it's a lens that's needed, but I'm not.
How you doing? Doing good. Oh, sorry about that. Keep going.
Like, you're fine. But yeah, that's really all.
Wow. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And again, that's why I said like when I saw there were participants, there was winner or of um of the um competition, and to look like you, I was like, wow, this is like again, kudos to you. This is like something that should stand out. And yeah, like I hope you. I really pray and hope that whatever influence you made um, in those people's lives. Like even if it's a short, like it's just a summer. But I truly do feel like
Mhm.
your presence probably was known, it'll be missed, and I think that you'll probably be getting that full time offer very soon. And if it happens, keep me in mind, please, because
No, I for sure will. I think that I do plan on coming back for another internship, and hopefully after I graduate, of course.
right,
And I hope to be back because it's been great. I think that the impact has been bigger on me, and I've, like I said, I've written all these names down, and they're not going to be able to forget about me because I'm going to be staying in touch throughout the year and all those things.
okay, thank you.
But I hope you do the imaginations competition. I think definitely if you go to that presentation, talk to Kennedy if Billy is there or Dex. Talk to them because they like to look out, and they're really good leaders, especially for our people. And Kennedy's placed in me, and I think it's been really good. Like, she's my mentor. Now she's not here, and so really that was like a connection that I made that was sort of like, one connection that really put me in the door. So, if you can make those connections with Dex or with Billy, or if Roger make a connection and what you're interested in,
Can I get?
Dex. Yeah, here, I can put his name in the chat.
Okay, yeah.
Cool, what's his name? Am I saying now?
Yeah. Or you could,
And
yeah.
like, I'm sorry?
I say elaborate or whatever. I think follow up on. And also,
Yes.
you had mentioned like so I can kind of so my research on is there anything else that can do like to connect toward the opportunity, or like quick breakdown like I just made
So, how do you spend
with your
So,
video.
it's a design competition.
I'm not gonna answer the phone because I'm not being in and out audio wise. So I'm trying to on the teams on my own.
You're fine.
I'm trying to see. I'm going to all right, hello. Hi. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry.
Back under glass is like the first Black Bible, right? So you walk in and you like, Howard has that and it sits here, right? Would that be pretty cool?
But yeah, so it's basically a design competition. Like I said, we were given a prompt and we get to design for
Like, there's gotta be something.
Let me see if I can find
I see it like this.
And also afterwards,